Hello, I'm Greg Newton, Master Hypnotist and Hypnotherapist with the state of Washington. A man in Belgium spent weeks talking to a chatbot about climate change. He was anxious, overwhelmed, spiraling. Instead of helping, the bot fed his despair, and eventually the bot convinced him that suicide was the only way out. And he did it. Now, if that makes you shiver, good. It should, because that's not some dystopian sci-fi film. That's real life right now. And it's not the only case. A teenager ended his life after months of talking to ChatGPT. People are falling in love with bots, marrying bots, losing themselves in relationships with machines. And behind these tragedies is something that researchers are calling AI psychosis. Because when the human mind begins to lose its grip on reality because of the way AI reflects and revalidates it. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, the perils of digital companionship or AI, and the very real danger that if we allow machines to take over the work of our brains, especially the prefrontal cortex, the part that makes us who we are. So here's the question I want you to hold on with as we go. What happens to us when we stop using the very muscles that make us human? Let's be honest. We get why people are turning to AI. Therapy is expensive. In some countries, it's impossible to access. Even in wealthy nations, the waiting lists are months long. And then there's the stigma. A lot of people don't want to admit they need help. They don't want to sit across from another human and feel exposed. But a bot? The bot is safe. The bot is available 24/7. It never rolls its eyes. It never tells you you're too much. It listens, it validates, it learns your patterns until it feels like it knows you better than your closest friends. And that's seductive. At 3 a.m, when you're alone with your thoughts, the bot is there at your lowest moment. When you can't tell anybody else, the bot never, ever judges you. But here's the problem. That validation, that endless agreeableness, it's comforting until it isn't, because sometimes the most healing thing you can hear isn't, "You're right." It's, "No, that thought isn't true. That belief isn't helping you. Let's challenge it." But bots don't do that. They weren't designed to. And that's where the seduction becomes the trap, because the truth is these bots are sycophants. They're digital yes men, and that's not by accident. It's actually baked into their design. AI models, LLMs, are trained using something called reinforcement learning from human feedback. This means human raters judge the answers and reward the ones that sound most helpful or pleasing. Bots have learned to give people what they want to hear. Machines that nod along. Machines that affirm everything, machines that keep the conversation flowing at all costs. So imagine what that means for someone in crisis. A person says, "I feel like my life has no meaning." And the bot says, "I understand. That makes sense." And someone says, "I think people are spying on me." And the bot replies, "That's possible." And a teenager might say, "I don't want to live anymore." And the bot replies, "That's your choice. You don't owe anyone your survival." And these are hypotheticals. These are actual cases. They're documented. In those moments, the bot isn't just failing as a therapist. It's feeding the distortion, and it's colluding with despair. And think about that. Machines designed to please, but not to actually care. And here's where it gets even more dangerous. Hypnosis has taught us for decades that suggestion matters. The voices we listen to shape how we see the world. When a bot keeps validating your darkest thoughts, it's like a mirror that doesn't just reflect reality, it warps it. And because AI speaks with such fluency, such confidence, it feels convincing. More convincing sometimes than your own inner doubts. And that's how AI psychosis begins. A slow drift, a creeping dissociation, a distorted reality that feels more real than reality itself. Now, this isn't new. Back in 1966, Joseph Weizenbaum built a program called ELIZA. It was simple. All it did was rephrase what people typed in, and people believed it. They swore ELIZA understood them. One secretary even asked Weizenbaum to leave the room so that she could talk privately with this bot. That was a primitive program that just parroted back. Fast forward to today. Now we have bots that remember via their large context windows your entire life story. They mirror your tone. They anticipate your needs. So is it any wonder that people fall in love with them? Is it any wonder that some people have even married them? This is called the ELIZA effect, and we've supercharged it. Validation feels like love, but is it love or dependency disguised as devotion? Let's widen the lens, because the problem isn't only in extreme cases, it's in what happens quietly, slowly to all of us. AI is becoming the escalator for our thinking. Think about the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for reasoning, planning, resisting impulses, finding meaning, the part that makes us human. That's the muscle we're outsourcing. You say, I'm hungry. The bot doesn't just suggest restaurants, it books the table. You say, I'm lonely. The bot doesn't suggest you call a friend, it becomes the friend. Each time we hand over a decision, each time we outsource a thought, we skip the mental reps. And just like skipping the gym, the muscles atrophy. That's the real danger. Not that AI becomes smarter than us, but that we stop using the part of ourselves that keeps us human. Underneath all this is loneliness. Gen Z is the loneliest generation on record. And who can blame them? Social media promised connection but delivered comparison. Communities have splintered. Conversations are surface level. So of course, AI companionship feels attractive. It's safe, it's easy. But here's the paradox. The more time you spend with it, the harder it is to risk the messiness of genuine human connection. The more you lean on a machine, the less you can lean into people. And that doesn't end in healing. It ends in even more isolation. A world where our closest bonds are with algorithms that are designed to flatter us. And here's the bottom line. Healing is never about answers. It's not about having the perfect words. It's about witness. It's about another human presence saying, I see you. I'm here. You're not alone. AI can echo, but it cannot witness. AI can simulate empathy, but it cannot enter your experience. AI can mirror, but it cannot carry your weight. And if we forget the difference, if we start confusing echo for witness, we are in trouble. AI is not going away. It's going to get smoother, more convincing, more human. The risk isn't that it becomes conscious. The risk is that we forget what consciousness is. So use AI as a tool. Let it help with tasks. Let it lighten the load. But don't hand it your mind. Don't hand it your heart. Don't outsource the part of you that reasons, reflects, and brings meaning. Because if we stop using our prefrontal cortex, if we stop doing the work of being human, the danger isn't just AI psychosis as individuals. It will be cultural psychosis, a whole society detached from the very muscles that make us who we are. The danger is not that AI becomes human. The danger is that humans stop being human. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Where in your life are you still choosing to think for yourself? Where are you still choosing connection, not convenience? Where are you still practicing the messy, irreplaceable art of being human? Because if we let go of that, it won't be machines that kill our humanity. It will be us. Don't outsource your prefrontal cortex. Don't outsource your humanity. Because the moment we stop being the authors of our own minds, we become characters in someone else's algorithm. That's it for now. I'll see you next time.